Hey guys and gals, as we get into week 47 of reefing, I have to wonder if it would have been more rewarding to just set up that one tank, maintain it properly, and just not play with it so much. I wonder what kind of growth I would have got. I think that first nano cube would just be blooming and bursting, but nah, what fun is that? But it does kind of make you wonder. I've been real busy with work, so as you will see as we go into some close-ups, the tank glass is filthy. But I mean, I have been keeping up with feeding, emptying the skimmer. I have an auto top off. I have dosing pumps, so everything maintains well. Probably better when I'm at work than when I'm home sticking my hands in there. So just thought I'd do a few close-ups of the tank. Caught this little emerald crab, and then he realized I was there, and I guess I startled him. He was busy doing. And these polyps, these pallies, I think, I'm not sure. I gotta get them on their own rock. They're starting to invade onto the next rock, and they all don't grow like that. Just this strain. So I may be chipping up that rock and giving them out. It's a little polyp of a little frag of green star polyps, but they're almost yellow, so they're really a nice star polyp. And yeah, I need to let them move out of the way. And these are like a yellow pally, and that's one of the acans that I've been working on. So of course the blue lights are on because I got home from work, and they actually switch off at one part during the video, and I have to turn them back on. A little extended thing. But there's two Jedi mind tricks there. The one that really kind of healed itself and now is growing out onto the rock, and another newer frag, just because they were on sale, so I enjoy them. I got another one. Here's a little zoanthid on a just small piece of Tonga branch. And I never show those, and I always say, oh, I should have put that in the video too. I've had those forever. That's where the light went out. Now this Favia is, I have a couple of Favias, and some are real hard and stony, but this one seems to be more fleshy, if you will. Almost like more like an acan. And this is a tiny little acan frag I picked up last week, and the colors on it are amazing, but the polyps are so tiny on it. I'm hoping it grows up and it'll be gorgeous. And just some more Favites, or Favia. It's hard for me to tell the difference. But some are a lot fluffier, and like that red one, I guess it's a Christmas Favia. Yeah, that one's pretty stony compared to the other ones. You don't see it feed as much either. And the big green mushrooms. And that's a little piece of Gonopora. That green bump right in the middle. And I don't know much about them. It was looking pretty sad at the frag shop. And I figured I'd bring it home and take care of it. But I do see them extend a little bit during the day. And that's my blue sponge behind it. And the little damsel's been with me for a while. And here's a couple more Favias, and this Montipora with the bright orange polyps is already taking over. It's all over the frag rack at the LFS. I don't know exactly what type it is. And the Sunset Montipora is also starting to reach out a little bit. And then, of course, the candy canes and the hammers. I'm going to have to spread them out. We're getting a little close in this 55, but I think it's because of the rock work. It's pretty much a wall, and things either have to be on top of it or on the sand bed. So we'll maybe get to spread them out in the new build. But the hammer is really growing. This was a little experiment. When I took my Sunset Montipora off of a frag, there were little remains on the plug still. So I'm gluing them onto the red planet that the one that died. and just some other little Montiporas I have in SBS stylo. There's a small little acro in there, and two different strains of like a bird nest. And I'm seeing growth on these things, so like I said, keep your hands out of the tank. And then let's go look in the cube. In the cube, this anemone is still held together by that one little string. And the light had gone off, so that's why it looks really deflated. But it hasn't been itself. And I'm almost wondering, should I just get in there and help it out and snip that last little bit? I mean, it's already got the two mouths. I don't know. And yeah, these zoanthids are one of my favorites. They almost died off when I had bryopsis. I was down to 2 polyps on it. So they've come back really well. And just a bunch of other zoanthids that, you know, I populate onto this rock. And that's a little piece of a Kenya tree that dropped off of my main Kenya tree. And it dropped off as just a tiny little, maybe 3 or 4 polypy branches, whatever they are. And it's growing in pretty nice. A fragozoanthids that fell, and I just kind of left there. And there, a little bit of dragon's breath. I have that throughout the Nano tank is where it does the best. So that's a nice little piece there. There's the bigger piece of Kenya tree. And some mushrooms on a rock. Now, look at my bubble algae. That's why I want to reset the tank. There's some rocks that don't have anything on them but bubble algae. But if you notice, that one stringy piece of macroalgae is almost like water lilies on it. It's a string, it comes across the bubble algae, so it kind of blends. But you see the 2 strands coming out the front? They are looking to root onto something or attach onto something, so it's almost growing like a vine, which is pretty cool. And I hope I can get rid of the bubble algae, but keep that, because I think that'll look good in a macro display, whatever it is. And just the leather coral. And then this huge bush of dragon's breath that I need to cut up and give out. Just haven't done it, but it's growing really well. And in there is all baby snails. So if you get some dragon's breath from Dave's Nano Tanks, you will get some baby snails too. I don't know what type of baby snails they are. That's the only problem. Okay, the 20 high fuge. I'm showing you some new sprouts of Caulerpa that are coming up. And one that needs to be trimmed. It actually has a little cyano on it. And there's little Asterina starfish that they don't bother me. They keep the coralline algae in check. That rock there doesn't have any coralline algae on it, but it's just kind of a couple of rocks that are brewing for the new build. And yeah, you see that just has to be snipped right out of there. I'm not sure that I would keep that in the display tank once I get it set up the way I want. And I pulled a red bulb out of the smaller fuge that's in the sump, just so we can see what's kind of going on in there. I think you'll notice that the Caulerpa in there is a lot more tame and a lot darker green. So I kind of like that. So, Petco had a sale. So I got a 10-gallon tank, and I can't believe how small it is. It was sitting on the front passenger seat of the car. And I was like, have they always been this small? I remember sitting and looking in them with wonder. And of course I had to get a 40 breeder while I was there. This will be the sump for the new build. But as you see, the fish room is just, this work table I have is just piled with stuff. And here we go. The tank. It should be dry this weekend, but I plan to take it off the stand and paint the stand before I fill it with water. I want to get a good coat or two of paint under the tank just to seal the wood off nice. And that's about it for this week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.